Hey, Larry, you're on Let Them Play.
Yeah, Tony, you're talking about expectations from parents. I just heard you use the word friggin' about 6 times.
Yes, you did.
I don't think that's appropriate on a family program.
Well, okay.
I know what it means. You know what it means.
Yeah, it means freaking.
Yeah. No, it doesn't. You know that.
No, not at all.
Well, then can I educate you then?
Please. Please.
I don't think I have to educate you, Tony. I resent it on a family program. I think you could have used something other. Mary Poppins, I understand, and all that. That's just a word on a family program, and you're now just condoning people for saying other things about their children.
Well,
right?
let me ask you this, Larry. What do you think about me having to go see Mary Poppins on Super Bowl Sunday?
I think it's unfortunate, Tony, but you're a father. Put it on tape. You can put the Super Bowl on tape. It won't change anything.
Hey, Larry, you know what? I will respectfully agree to disagree with you on the language. Because, hey, think about it. If you listen to the show, I stopped saying the R word.
Well, yeah, but there's so much today, and we're talking about young people.
Well, this is really, I got to tell you what, in all fairness, Larry, I think you should understand that this show is really geared to parents and coaches. And by the way, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But tell me if you agree or disagree with this. When you talk about, and by the way, how old are you, Larry, if you don't mind me asking?
86.
God bless you, man. When's your birthday? Don't tell me your birthday's today.
It just was.
Just was? All right. Well, you tell you what, happy birthday to you. A lot of the contemporary parents and coaches, when we talk about sports and our kids, we do so in a very emotional state. And the whole premise of this show, and I think I've never kept it a secret, is this show is about edginess. It's not about some PhD telling you, the psychology behind why parents act the way they do. Sometimes people need to get popped in the nose. And you know what, Larry? I hope you do continue to listen, and I hope you continue to try to keep me in line, because I really do appreciate you taking the time to call this morning, and I'll do my best, to not use those words anymore. But Larry, thanks for the call. I do appreciate it. Hey, listen, you got to give the guy his due. He's been on this planet 86 years. God bless him. All right, you know what? I do want to get back to some more of the reactions that came in from some. And look at Adam sweating. He didn't like the controversial call. Dude, it's okay. We got plenty of time. All right, a note came in from Unbelievable is the name that she uses, and Unbelievable wrote, and I quote, "Are you kidding me? Girls quit because of too much pressure from their parents? Nothing could be further from the truth. The last handful of level 6 or 7 gymnasts that have quit this school have done so because of lack of support from their coach, Mary. Any girl that's been in the position to compete against Mary's daughters have been treated poorly in the gym until they eventually leave. These excellent gymnasts have left due to Mary. And they've all been state champs for many years and have never heard good job or congratulations from their coach. Alyssa, who is, by the way, the 9-year-old little girl, is a great little gymnast, but she's not the only one at the gym." Well, Unbelievable, your name happens to be quite appropriate because, your post is just that. It's unbelievable. Is it me, or does this statement reek of jealous gymnastics mom? I think it's great, by the way, Unbelievable, that you can speak for all the gymnasts who have left this school. But do you think that just maybe, these girls quit because they were getting to an age and maybe not progressing enough? I mean, I had girls in gymnastics. Do you think maybe they quit because they're overbearing, overweight, used-to-be gymnast moms really did continue to fit the stereotype and put pressure on their kids? Do you think they might have quit because gymnastics is a 12-month-a-year sport that heavily intrudes on any and all other sports like my own girls decided to do? And you know what? Here's a crazy thought. Maybe these kids simply fit into the actual statistics of youth sports. The fact of the matter is 70% of all kids in organized sports quit before they hit age 13. And there are a lot of reasons that people use to justify this, but the simplest of all those reasons is this. For whatever reason, a kid quits sports for the same reason they quit the chess club, or quit playing video games, or quit piano lessons, or tap dance, or whatever else they might quit. It's just not fun anymore. Now, another thing about your ridiculous comments. If this woman, this coach, was truly the female version of Attila the Hun that you make her out to be, let me ask you this. Wouldn't that reputation in that very insulated community of gymnasts have proliferated? Wow, I just used a lot of big words there. All right. Let me translate this into Joe Six-Pack talk. If this lady was such a bad person, wouldn't everybody, including the parents who signed up for this school, wouldn't they know about it? You know what? I think I've already given this dope more than enough exposure, so I'm going to move on, because I actually got a couple of responses this week on the blog and on the email. In fact, I got one from Stacy in Westchester who says, "Hey, Coach Tony, either I am missing something or the parents who commented on this article are missing the message entirely. It is not about the team and how well they did. This story is about the individual mindset of being confident and realizing in sports and in life that you will never be perfect, giving it your all and finishing what you started even if you mess up along the way. So I understand how if you're a parent of one of the girls on the team, this might upset you. I would just hope the parents could pull themselves up a level and understand the true message. I wonder what the reactions would have been if the name of the girl was not mentioned. Would the parents have reacted the same way? Sometimes we can all be so damn petty." Now, by the way, for Larry, damn was in the email. I did not, that's not my word, that's in the email. So I don't want Larry calling back in and giving me some more grief. Now, by the way, Stacy, you're absolutely right. We can all be very, very petty. And I will get right to the end of your email when you said, I wonder if, what the reactions would have been if they didn't use a name. Guess what? If they didn't use a name, none of these parents would have said word one. Because, again, these parents were more upset that their kids did not get the recognition, and more so that somebody else did. And I think that's where the real pettiness comes into play here. But, Stacey, that's a great thought, and I appreciate the email. Hey, we still have the studio lines open at 914-693-5700. We did get a note shot in from our good buddy Jerry in White Plains. Jerry says, hey, Coach Tony, not only are these parents prioritizing over their kids, they're actually complaining when other kids get recognition. Another kid shining doesn't mean your kid has less of a chance to shine on their own, especially in a sport like gymnastics or figure skating where there is no defense. Jerry, you took the words right out of my mouth. I'm going to finish your email first. If these girls didn't get recognition, it's probably because they're just not good enough. The article, in fact, did mention other girls, but if you pay attention, it says these girls were older than the girl featured in the article. I think the basic idea of the article was that there is a very young girl who is accomplished physically, but also seems to have her stuff together. Just another case of parents being petty and jealous. Jerry, you nailed it. Absolutely right on the head. One of the things that I think is of monumental importance here is that if another girl in that gym had made an impact on Ian St. Clair, he would have written the article about that girl. So it has nothing to do, your kid didn't stand out. In gymnastics, you're competing against judges and their objectivity. If, back in the day, if some girl's going to go do a round-off double back handspring, and let's say my daughter jumps off the sideline and tackles her in the middle, that has an impact. But nothing my kid does impacts what your kid can do, and I think the parents here miss this. Adam is telling me that we actually have the reporter, Ian St. Clair, who wrote the article, is actually on the line with us. We're going to go to Ian and get some of his thoughts. Hey, Ian, good morning, man. You're on Let Them Play.
Good morning, Tony. How are you doing?
I am doing great. I can't believe such a good-hearted, meaningful article sparked so much debate around this little community of yours. What do you think about all this?
I had a feeling when I wrote this story that there was going to be some sort of negative reaction from jealous parents, but nothing to this level that they would thrash apart a 9-year-old girl who did nothing but be in the gym when I was there to formulate the idea to write it this way.
What do you think about the parents who insist, and I'm putting some words in their mouth, but the theme is there. They're screaming bait and switch. You and the Eagle came in under the premise you were going to be writing a story about the level 6 team, and it turned into a story that it wasn't exclusively about this little girl, but let's face it, she was clearly highlighted in the article, and I think rightfully so. Doesn't this happen all the time? You go out to do a story about topic A, something happens and it dramatically changes your story. Is it just me, or does that just happen all the time?
That happens all the time. I mean, and the people that, especially these moms that went to town on this 9-year-old girl and her mom and insinuated that they were in my ear saying, "Hey, the story this way." They wanted it to be about the team, which is, read between the lines, they wanted it to be about their daughter.
Mm-hmm.
But when you do a story on a level 6 gymnastics team that won state, that's not a story. Everybody's read that story. That's nothing new. So it's my job to find a story that people want to read. That's different. That's off the beaten path. And that's what I felt this story was about.
Well, for whatever it's worth, I think your story, and guys, if you have not read the story, go to my blog, www.heycoachtony, and read the article and the follow-up article. This was a very well-written piece, and again, maybe I'm a little bit more sensitive to it because I had 2 girls that were competing in gymnastics. It was a great story that outlines a lot of not just what's going on in gymnastics, but the whole idea of teaching kids that it's not only is it okay to fail, it's an important part of your development to fail. What's most important is how you respond and how you react to your own failures. And if half of what you say about this little girl is true, she has the makings, at least between the ears, of a world-class athlete. I mean, is that what jumped off the page at you, how she was reacting to this stuff?
Absolutely. And when this last week I got a couple of responses from her mom, and it just highlighted all the stuff that you said about these crazy moms. She actually said that there was multiple times over the last year that Alyssa wanted to quit because 3 girls in particular started to pick on Alyssa. And these 3 girls were older than she is. And they would trash her at the gym. They would make fun of her. They would get on her. And there was actually a point where the parents joined in with their kids on posting on Facebook, basically making fun of her and trashing her then. They were doing everything they could to get her to quit, but she didn't.
Well, the mom,
on top of all of this, shows what a good job Mary has done to shelter her from all this, and what a strong woman that I highlighted in this story.
Well, the mango apple doesn't fall too far from the mango tree, and I got to tell you, there is an elitist attitude. You know, if you've ever been around gymnastics, there is certainly an elitist attitude around a lot of these kids, and you know where it comes from? Again, I'll go back to what I said last week. There are no bad kids, there are only bad parents. If you have a kid, first of all, if your kid is 14, 15, competing at level 6, I'm going to say it, hang it up. She's not going anywhere in gymnastics. How's that? And if at the same time you're gonna give her the moral backbone to go pick on a 9-year-old kid, then just get out of sports altogether. Again, let's one more time take the parents. Let's bring them to a clinic. Let's have them neutered so that they don't continue to produce children who act this way. Failures as parents, and I hope some of these idiot parents are listening in and are calling because I want to talk to them. It's what transpired after this great article is disgusting. And again, Ian, I think I know you're a younger guy. You're on your way to doing some really great things in journalism. I am very pleased with the article. I'm gonna have to go to a break. So if you hear anything else during the course of the story, you want to call back in, Ian, you got the bat phone. You can give us a call. But before we get, again, I know there are more calls. We're going to get your calls in a second. But I got to tell you, folks, before we go to break, the last weekend we went back to Catamount. If you guys, winter is not soon enough coming to an end. But if you are a skier and have skiers in your family, you got to get to Catamount Family Ski Resort in Hillsdale, New York. We go there all the time. It has become our favorite place to go. It is less than an hour and a half from Westchester County. Everybody there is so friendly. They treat you like, well, at this point, we are family. They know all my kids by name. The food is great. You always bump into somebody you know. The skiing is terrific. They take care of the trails. Whether you want to hit the bunny slope or ski double black. My wife is looking at me. Yeah, she's a bunny slope expert, my wife. Or you want to do double black diamond moguls. They can really challenge every level of skier. Get to Catamount Ski Resort and visit them on the web at www.catamountski.com for more information. When you get there, tell Rich Edwards that Coach Tony sent you.